Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Tuesday we started this course, and today I think a few more newcomers join with the class. So we will recap first day session. Okay, can you all see the screen now?
Yes, we can see.
Yeah. Okay. First day we started that company settings. If you are newcomers there, you will receive an email from that sage.com. Please accept that your confirm account email. After that, you can log into the system. The URL is accounting.sage1.asia, and you can enter your email address and enter your password. After that, you can log into the system. First, we did the company settings. To do the company settings, go to company, change company settings. And there's a heading company details, and under that you can enter company details. You can enter your company name, telephone address, fax numbers, mobile numbers, and postal address, and physical address you can enter. And in email, there are two options. One is use this email for communication. Second one is use no reply accounting sage1.my as from address. This option we use for now from this system. You can directly email your documents such as quotations, sales orders, invoices, customer receipts, purchase orders. In that case, if you select first option and enter an email address, the recipient will see that email address. Otherwise, if you select the second option, the user will receive no reply at accounting.sage1.my address. Okay, then we will move to additional company information. In additional company information, you can enter your company tax numbers, company registered name, registration numbers, tax office, and your entity type. That is, if your company is private limited, public limited, or partnership, sole proprietor, those entity type you can select from here, and you can enter your city, state, and country. Okay, next we will move to customer zone. This is a special feature in the Sage Business Cloud Accounting. If you enable this option, enable your accounting customer zone, your customers also can view their invoices, their receipts, and their statement or outstanding online. That means it's not they are logging to your system. When you are sending emails, link, you can send the email with a link, so customers can click that your link and view their invoices, receipts, and customer statement. There are also two options. You can enable from ticking this, enable your accounting customer zone, and there are two options. First one is invoices and quotations on quotes only. That means the customer can view their invoices and quotations. The second option is invoice and account history. If you select the second option, the customers can view their invoices, their receipts, and outstanding statement, and all their transactions they can view. And display name is you want to the company name you want to show in the customer zone. After you enter those details, you can save. Okay, then we will move to general settings. From here, we created financial years. Now, in practical situation, if you are start the company, the software for new company, you don't want to enter add new all financial years. You can start from the current financial year. Now, for an if you are an old company and you are implementing the system in this year, you may need to enter previous transactions, or if you have customer supplier balances outstanding, you may need to enter those transactions to the system. In that case, you may need a few past years add into the system. You can add financial years to the system from here, clicking this plus mark, green color plus mark, and you can remove financial years from clicking this red color minus button. Okay, and sometimes when you are creating your financial years, it may has 1st Jan to year and 31st December financial year. If it is January to December and your company is April to March, you can change the financial year from here, clicking the financial year start date and click the calendar, and you can set the your financial year start date. And to enter financial year end date, you can click the financial year end date and click the this calendar, and you can select the financial year end date. Likewise, you can create or you can add financial years to the system. And especially Sage Business Cloud accounting software does not need any financial year end processes, or you don't want to take backups after completing the financial year, because cloud accounting softwares normally they will take the backups, and you don't want to take backups. And some softwares may have financial year in process. Here you don't want to do any transaction or task like that. And after you end the financial year, the next first day you enter to the system will pop up a message, do you want to create a new financial year? For an example, now assume we are in 31st March 2023, and next day April 1st 2023, when you are logging to the system will pop up a message, do you want to create a new financial year? In that case, if we click OK, system will create a new financial year. If not, you can also manually you can add financial year. If you are not add new financial year, you cannot enter transaction to the that new financial year. For an example, now if you are in 31st March 2023 and you haven't created a new financial year, but you want to enter 1st April 2023 transaction, in that case system will not allow to enter that transaction. So to enter that transaction, you need to create a new financial year and enter the transaction. Then we will move to lockdown date. If you click this set a lockdown date and enter lockdown date, prior to this date you cannot enter transactions. This is for control purposes. This will eliminate human errors. And if you are after you end the financial year, you can set a lockdown date and enter financial year end date. Then users cannot enter previous year's transaction. That users cannot enter backdated transaction. If you want allow to some users to enter backdated transaction, admin user can change this date. Okay. Any questions up to now? I will like clear this. If you have any question, please raise your hand. Okay, we will continue. Next, we will move to rounding. From here, you can rounding up, rounding down, no normal rounding you can use. It will now if you want to round up, system will show how this will actually use for that rounding to some decimal places. Okay, how many number of cents you want to round up. The range between round up range is 5 to 100. Next, we will move to regional settings. From here, you can decide how many decimal places in your quantity and how many decimal places in your rupee values and how many decimal places in your hours. And from here, currency symbol, you can decide whether you will display as rupees or LKR. And if you are using the system foreign company, for an example, if you are US company, you can show enter this currency symbol as USD. And from here, date format, you can select the date format. First one is DDMMYYY, second one is YY, then that means second one option is year first, then month, then date. The third option is month first, date second, and year last. I'll show you how to change that now. For an example, if you are selling some vegetables, sometimes you might need 3 decimal places in quantity. In that case, you need to add 3 decimal places to quantity decimal places. If you add 3 quantity in decimal places, here it will show as 3 decimal places. Now you can see there are 3 decimal places in quantity, 3 decimal places in price. Next, we will move to customer and supplier settings. From here, first one is warn when duplicate customer reference and use on customer invoices. That means sometimes your customers may send purchase orders. We can enter those reference numbers in this customer reference. So if you are entering same purchase orders numbers in two different documents, system will show, system will warn, and it will pop up message you are entering duplicate reference number. Then second option is warn when duplicate supply invoice number. That means if you are entering same number, same supply invoices numbers in two different occasions, system will pop up a message. Then third one is display inactive customers for selection when processing. That means sometimes your customers may discontinue purchase with you. In that case, you can deactivate that customer. I'll show you how to deactivate the customer. From here, we can log into, go to list of customers, and we will, here there's an active button. If you are untick that one, the customer will inactive. If you untick this one, the inactive customers will not display for your documents. We have to save this after editing screen. And refresh. Now we deactivated the Ratnayak Enterprises. Now it will not show in the customer list. And there's some noise is coming. Can you all silent your phone? One message is there's noises that we can hear. Mr. Vasanta, is it okay now?
Yeah, sometimes it comes and goes.
Yes, sometimes coming. I also heard some train kind of noise. Now it's okay, right?
Yeah, now okay.
Okay, thanks. Your screen is okay now. I think sometimes some technical problems display. Okay, now we will come back to the lesson. The fourth option is display inactive suppliers for selection when processing. It also same like customer. If you are inactive customer, it will not appear in the when you are processing a transaction. Fifth one is display inactive customers for selection on reports. When you are generating reports like customer statement, outstanding balances, you can generate reports from customer reports, sales by customer. If you are set the option, the inactive customers will not show in the reports. Then use inclusive processing on customer supply document by default. If you set the inclusive amount, when you are processing a transaction, quotation or tax invoices, system will show the inclusive amount. Now here we have deactivated that one. If you use inclusive amount, system will show the inclusive price, that is with price. If you untick this one, this option, use inclusive amount, it will show the exclusive amount, that means without taxes. Then use account as a default document line type, that is you can when you are entering a transaction, supply customer invoices, you can select either item, account or bundle. Item is your trading items. Account is if you are select account, you can select GL account as a selection. Now for an example, if you are purchasing stationery, you can directly select account and directly transfer that expenses to printing and stationery expenses. Okay, then we will move to item settings. There are a few options. One, when item quantity fall below 0, that means if your quantity, when you are processing a transaction, if your quantity going below 0, system will pop up a message that your quantity will be going 0. That means your items will be going minus. Then second option is do not allow item quantities below 0. If you select this option, system will not allow you to enter that transaction. For an example, if you have 5 number of items and you are going to invoice 6, in that case, then there will be a -1. So if you select on do not allow item quantities below 0 option, system will not allow to process this transaction, and it will only allow if you are sell 5 numbers only. The first option, if you are select first option, it will allow you, it will pop up and it will allow you to do the transaction. But if you are select the second option, system will not allow users to process that transaction. Then when item cost is below 0, then system will pop up a message if your cost is below 0. Fourth one is when item selling prices below cost. In sometimes users maybe set the selling prices by mistake below your cost price. Then system will pop up a message that your selling price is below the cost price. Then you can change your selling prices. Next one is display inactive items for selection on document line. That means you can inactive items. If your company discontinue some items, you can inactive those items. You can inactive those items from go to items, go to list, item list. You can open the item from clicking this blue color item code, and you can inactive this item. If you untick this active button, item will be inactive and save. If you select that option, that particular item will not display in that transaction lines. Now 001 item will not display in the document line. And next option is sales order reserve item quantities. The system can do invoices in 3 steps. First one is issue a quotation. Second one is you can convert that quotation into a sales order. Then final part, you can convert that sales order into an invoice. You can do these steps at once, directly entering an invoice, or you can follow that 3 steps. Now, if you are entering a sales order, that those items will reserve for that sales order. You can add that reserved quantity, and it will display in the list, and you can see how many quantities you reserved for sales orders. Then display inactive item for bundle selection document line. That means bundle items we will discuss later in when creating items. Okay. Okay, we will start today lesson. Now, sometimes your profile, your company settings will not display this time tracking settings. Okay, you can actually there are some additional modules such as inventory and multi-currency and data manager system. So those things, or if you want to, you can add additional users. Those things you can do from this administration and go to my profile. From here, you can upgrade your system. Click on upgrade button. And if you want to add additional company, you can add additional company. Now, if you are, for an example, if you have 2 companies, now you have created 1 company and you want additional 1 more company. In that case, you can add 1 for these additional companies. And if you want to add a few more users, you can add users. And if you want to update document store, accounting document store, you can add this one. And this option is this document store means the system has option to attach document. For an example, if you are creating a customer, you can attach their customers, attach customer agreements or any relevant documents you can attach to the system. Then if you are that currently system has 1 GB, if you want add more capacity, you can increase from here. And other additional modules are time tracking, multi-currency, advanced inventory, debtors management. Time tracking is used for, now for an example, for security companies, they may have shifts or they may have different sites. So in that case, you can enter, you can directly enter that shift hours, and you can directly invoice to the customers. The second is multi-currency. From here, you can add multi-currencies, different currencies you can add to the system. In advanced inventory module, in advanced inventories, you can add inventory module to the system, and data manager is you can, from this module, you can follow up your customer outstanding and why your sales rep not collecting outstanding. Those things you can manage from the debtors manager. And you can now active this time tracking and other options. Click enter one and click next. If you want to add additional users, you can add additional users from here. Sorry, Anusha, you are setting. Actually, first up to now we did that last day lesson, so that's why I quickly cover up that one. Now this one we will do slowly. Sorry about that. Okay, you all are done that creating additional modules. Charit said slide is not working. Is it okay now, Charit? Okay, after you activate the time tracking settings, you can see in the general settings, time tracking settings available. Is it okay for you? Mr. Saman, you created add that additional module that time tracking.
Yeah, I did it.
Yeah, I think you don't mind. I'm asking questions from you. Yeah, actually, we want to get feedbacks. That's why I'm asking from you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks, Mr. Saman. Okay.
I did it. I don't know others.
Oh.
I
Others.
think it's better if you can little bit slow.
Okay.
Then
Fine.
I think everyone will follow you. No?
Okay.
Because it's still we are not much familiar with this interface.
Okay, sure. Okay.
We don't know where we have to click another thing. Therefore, I think better if you can do little slow.
Okay. Actually, I just went through that last day.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
okay, we will do that. Thank you very much for your feedback. And
okay.
This is time tracking settings. Now, like financial year, we said we can enter lockdown date, and before this date, you cannot enter transactions. This is a time tracking module. You can enter time sheets. If you this module is mainly used by security companies or cleaning companies, so you can enter that user wise for security officer wise time sheet, and system will calculate how many hours and what is the rate for that particular security officer, and system will create the invoice. Here you can add that projects, your locations, people who are working there, and you can enter timesheets, the task, users you can add. We will later do that time tracking module. Now we will move to that general settings. Then we will move to outstanding balances. There are few options here, monthly, and there's a tick box. If you are entering this monthly and tick box, now after that the system will calculate your outstanding after ending that particular month. Now for an example, we are in today's 20th. Now if we tick on this monthly, then system will calculate the particular invoice outstanding from 31st August. That means after in the month, they will system will calculate. If you want to calculate the actual date for the outstanding statement, you untick this one. Now you can generate that outstanding report from here. Customer reports, customer balances, days outstanding. Right. From here you can get age analysis. Now there's two options. One is monthly. Now if you tick on monthly, system will calculate the outstanding after completing that month. For an example, if you are invoicing in 20th August, and system will calculate the outstanding after last date from that month. Now for an example, if you are generating that outstanding statement on September 10th, system will show you that today invoice as only 10 days. Now if you untick this tick, then system will show 21 days. That means this month 11 days, and September 10th 10 days, 21 days. And next option is you can generate the outstanding age analysis from invoice date or due date. Invoice date is invoice date is same as that invoice date, and when you are generate report date, the difference dates will show the outstanding statement. Now you can I'll show you another example. When you are creating customers, you can enter customer credit period. From here you can enter customer credit period, and if you select this due date, system will calculate the outstanding report after considering that outstanding period. Now for an example, if you are invoicing 1st of August one invoice, and the credit period is 30 days, and when you are generating 31st age analysis, system will show as that particular invoice overdue only 1 day. Okay, I'll repeat it again. You invoice on 20th, sorry, you invoice 1st, and the customer credit period is 30, and when you are generating 31st August outstanding report, system will show it as a 1 overdue day. If you select invoice date, it will outstanding statement will show as 31 days. Okay, you got the difference. If you select invoice date, system will count actual number of days, and if you select due date, system will calculate outstanding days considering the that particular customer's credit period. That means invoice date plus credit period. After that only system will show as outstanding days. Are you clear about that?
Yes, it is okay.
Okay. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, please.
If I want an age analysis
Okay.
more than 3 months who are outstanding, how can I get it?
Yeah, from here, this age analysis, it will show the age analysis. Now, I'll show you. From here, you can run as a date. You can select any date, today or in future date. And from here, you can select customers. If you want to select one customer from from two, you can select that customer. If you want all customers, don't select a customer, then it will show the all customers. Then you can add some categories to the customers, and after that, if you want, select. Now for an example, you have wholesale customers and retail customers. Then you want to get only wholesale customers outstanding. In that case, you can select the category from here, wholesale. Okay, and you ask that how many days. Now this report generated for summary report, that means all customers total. Now, if you want invoice wise, you can get select this detail and you can run the report. Then it will show the invoice wise outstanding. Now here the particular customer, and it will show the invoice date, invoice number, and how many days outstanding. Okay, you can get each buckets 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 plus days. Here total you here that in current period it will show 1 to 29 days, 30 days it will show 30 to 59, 60 days it will show 60 to 89, 90 days 90 to 19, 119 and 120 plus. Okay, later we will do when you are doing reports.
Okay.
Okay, then personal information, this will ask how many years we are keeping that all transactions. You can select any number of period, then here give a reason. It's not mandatory, but there's no it will if you are select 5 years, it will not delete or anything will happen to your data. It system will ask as a there's a legal requirement. Because of that, system will ask, and nothing will happen if you are select 5 years or 2 years. Okay, after that you can save. Okay, now we have completed general settings. Do you have any questions about general settings? We done financial years. We add new financial year and we delete new financial year, and we set the financial year start date and financial year end date, and here we set a lockdown date and rounding. Regional settings, from here we enter how many decimal places in our quantity, and value and currency symbol, date format, and customer and supply settings, item settings. Sorry, I think I missed this one for newcomers. The last time we did this one, we can add any number of price list, and we can attach to the customers. Then the relevant price list prices will appear in the invoices. For an example, we have retail customers and wholesale customers. We are selling two different prices for that wholesale customers and retail customers. Retail customers price may high, wholesale customers prices may be less. So we can create price list from here, and
can I disturb you?
Yeah, of course.
Now here you can select the price list. Is there any other place to create the price list?
Yeah, from here, actually, there are 3 steps. First, from general settings, we need to create a price list. Okay, we can
Create
add price list.
right.
Add,
Just name it, no?
yeah, or else if you have many more than 3 price lists, you can add from here. Add red color minus mark, you can delete line. Okay, and you can rename that price list and save. Okay, after that we can link that price list to the customer. Go to customer, list of customers, open a customer. By clicking that blue color name, you can open the customer. Your screens are okay? Is it okay
Yeah,
now? Or
yeah,
okay, no?
we can see. Yeah.
Okay, and from here, default price list, you can attach that price list to the customer.
Right.
Okay, and that price list will attach to the customer. The next step is when we are creating the item, we need to add that prices to the price list. From here, we can create new price, go to items, add an item. We need to enter item code and description. There's a new tab,
Right.
price list. From
We
here,
have
we need to enter prices.
right.
Okay, there are 3 steps. First, we need to create a price list. Then we need to attach the price list to the customer. Finally, we need to enter prices to the price list.
Right. Right. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. Then time tracking settings. This time tracking settings we mainly use for security companies and cleaning companies. You can set lockdown date for that time tracking also. And outstanding, we have 2 options actually, monthly and current date. If we select monthly, it will calculate the outstanding after end of that month. If you untick monthly, it will calculate the invoice as actual days. Then age analysis. If you select due date, system will calculate the outstanding after considering the customer's credit period. If you select invoice date, it will calculate the outstanding as invoice date. And next, personal information. You can enter that how many number of years your retention period and reason. After enter those details, you can save, and we can take a few minutes to if you want to practice, you can do now. Indika Pereira, you have any questions? Indika, you raised your hand. Indigo Pereira, are you okay? If you have any questions, you can message. Thank you, Shahir. All clear so far. Okay, then we will move to tax settings. From tax settings, we can add tax rates to the system. And there are three options. Actually, this is international products. Therefore, other countries option also there. So if you are a tax registered company, please select invoice based GST. And if you are not a tax registered company, you can select no tax. If you select no tax, the tax rate will disappear. And if you select invoice based, then the tax rate will display. And from here, tax number, enter your tax number. The last tax period end date is your previous submission date, and your period tax period end date, and last tax submission period is your submission period. Now, for an example, if your tax period end date is 31st January and you submit on 20th next month 20th, then your last tax submission date is February 20th. And here you enter tax period frequency. You can enter the period that your monthly or quarterly. Then if you pay monthly, you can enter one.
Now this last tax period ended, that cage is inactive. We can't enter something.
Actually, first you are that you selected invoice based.
Yeah, invoice base is GST.
Okay, then last tax.
Tax number we type, then last tax period end date cannot be typed.
Your previous what's the date you entered for last tax period end date?
So we can't enter anything there.
All are having same issue.
Are there any connection with the general setting?
No, actually, It should be changeable. Now, can you please check your go to company and go to opening balances. And please, what's the date in that opening balance date?
Company under
company.
setting now.
Go to company, then opening balances.
19th August 2020.
19th August. Okay.
Yeah, 19th August 2020.
Okay, I'll check and
opening balances we can change it, no?
Yeah, you can change that opening balance, but it's not for this one. Can we keep as it is, and can we continue other part? Is it okay for you?
Okay, no problem.
Okay, and from here, text types, we can add text types by clicking this plus mark. We can add the text field, and if you want, you can rename that one. And if you want to delete a text rate, you can click on this red color mark, and you can delete a line. And this defaulting box, you can tick on that mostly used tax rate, and when you are creating customer or supplier or item, that particular tax rate will shown as default, but when you are creating customers, you can change the tax rate. Okay, now currently we have only VAT and SVAT. I'll little bit discuss about the practical situation now. If you have VAT 8%, it's straightforward. You can enter that tax VAT name, and you can enter the tax rate. Now, if you want to add a SVAT also, you can add a tax line, and rename that line as SVAT 8%, 0%. And here in the tax percentage, enter 0. Now you might then generate a report how much your VAT rate, tax rate wise report. In that case, you can generate SVAT how much and VAT how much. Indika Pereira, this is please show how to see the opening balance field. You can go to company before the administration and opening balances. Click that one, and you can see the opening balance date. Okay, I'll move to tax settings again. Now here you can add VAT 8% and SVAT make 0, because we are not charging the tax from that for that SVAT. And previously we have NBT also, and VAT is 15. So for your information, I'll create a new tax rate. For an example, we charge 15 VAT and NBT 2%. Now the system does not have the facility to add two tax numbers. Therefore, we are creating those two taxes at one column, and we will need to give the tax rate. Now it's not actually 17, it's 15 plus 1.02%. So the rate should be 17.3. Are you clear that one? First, we charge 2% VAT, or there may be two different rates, in BT 1% and in BT 2%. Now, if you are charging in BT 2% at 15% VAT, the rate should be 17.3. 100 into 1.02 into 1.15. Okay, and after that, when we are discuss about the layout designing part, we can separate this in BT tax amount and VAT 15% amount. Okay, there may be a calculation we will later discussing when we are creating layout design. Most system does not have the facility to enter two tax rate. Therefore, we are creating the in all situation that NVT 2% and 15 at one line, and when we are creating the layout designing, we can separate that in BT percentage and VAT percentage. Okay, now if you don't, if you are not using taxes, you can select no tax, and if you are using taxes, select invoice based GST. Okay, you can practice. We can give a couple of minutes to practice and create tax invoices to you. Yes.
Can you explain again what is this tax period frequency?
Tax period frequencies. Now, how frequently you are paying tax, whether you are paying tax in monthly or quarterly.
Okay.
Okay, you can create tax rate from by clicking this plus mark, and if you want to remove any tax type, tax rate, you can click this minus, red color minus button, and you can delete. But if you are, after you create a tax rate and that tax rate is used in any transaction, you cannot delete that tax rate, and if you cannot delete or edit that tax rate.
Now, sometime during a period, shall we say within a month, in the mid of month, tax rate may be changed. Then what will happen?
Actually, in that case, we can create a new tax rate for the new period, and we can use as a default tax.
And then applicable date, how we can
applicable date will be from the that we are doing transaction. Those transaction date may be the will be the date.
That means on the same date we have to change the tax rate, is it?
Yeah, same, not the same name.
No,
now
that means if the tax rate is changing on 15th August, yeah, we have to change the tax rate on that date.
Yeah,
and select.
Okay, now for an example, up to 15th you are using. Okay, we will use that 15. Earlier we had 15. So for we assume that 1st of January it changed to 8%. Till 31st December we use this 15% VAT rate, and 1st of January we create a new tax rate, and we will rename as at 8%, and we will enter the 8% tax rate. And for 1st of January transactions, we will use that 8% new tax rate. Okay, we need to create a new tax rate, and we use to new tax rate for the future transactions.
That means when we are doing an invoice, for that particular invoice, we can select applicable tax rate separate.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah, of course. Now I'll little explain that one. Now, when you are creating item, you can set that relevant tax rate to the customer.
Right.
Okay, go to this. There's a default tax type. From here, we can select the tax type. Then, when after you select the tax rate to the customer, when you are invoicing to that customer, that default rate will display in the invoice or that transaction document. Right. And if you want to change that tax rate, when you are invoicing also, you can change the tax rate. From here also, you can change.
Our default one is there, but if we want, we can change it. No?
Yes, you can change. And line item wise also, you can change.
Right. Right.
Right.
Sir, do we need to change each one by one customer?
Actually, if you change that one, now if you have 10 customers, and if you are set a default tax rate, then it will easy for you, because all the time when you enter new transaction, default tax rate will be displaying the that document, invoice or quotation. Okay, if you are not set a default tax rate, every time you are doing a transaction, you have to select that correct tax rate.
Okay. Only for that particular customer.
Yeah, only for particular customer. And also you can set tax rate for suppliers also. When you are creating supplier, go to supplier, add a supplier, add a supplier. From here also, default setting, you can set the tax rate for the supplier.
The purpose of selecting tax rate for suppliers is to identify what is the input tax and other things. Is it?
Yeah, of course. Yes, we can generate report how much input from that supplier input, actually VAT input. Okay, are we clear the tax settings? You practice creating new tax rate and editing tax rate?
Yes, sir. I have another. Sorry, there is a case.
Okay, no problem. You can go.
Sorry, there is a case tax number. What's mean by tax number?
Here, this our VAT number.
Our company.
Oh, yeah, our company. Now, if you enter this tax number, it will display in the our invoices also. If you want to display, this number will display in the our tax invoices.
But if we want to display in our invoice the customers numbers also, how can we add?
Yeah, when we are creating a customer, go to customer, add customer. From here, the tax reference, we can enter customer tax numbers.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Saman.
Yeah, what I want to say is now it is clear, but in our this company, these cages are inactive. We can't enter anything that.
I'll check that, Mr. Saman. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Okay, no.
Okay, then we will move to document and statements. From here, now system has the facility to send customer statements as email or print. And we can set a message to that statement when you are sending current statement, number of days. So any message when you are enter in here, it will display the customer statement. Okay, now for an example, if you want to add, if your customers is more than 120 days, you can enter that into a message. This please play ASAP or any message you can enter there, and it will display in the document. Okay. Then we will move to document numbers. From here, we can set numbers to our documents. That means our quotation number, sales order number, invoices, receipts, purchase order. We can set the numbers from the here, from document and statement, document numbers. We can set document numbers. Now, there are 3 columns: document type, current document number, new document number. Okay. Now next number is this number. If you are open a new now, if you enter a quotation, so next number is this, the document number is this new number. Okay, from here we can set a number. Now if you implement a system and you already have some quotation numbers, for an example, you might choose Q005 in last invoice, and you, after you implement the system, set the if you want to continue same serial number, enter Q006. Your previous system you use Q005, your last quotation number is 005, and after implementing you need to enter that, you need to set that quotation number, next quotation number, Q005. After you set that number, it will when you enter next quotation, this number, new document number, will display in the document. Likewise, you can enter that document numbers to quotations, sales order, customer invoices. Okay, you can practice that now. You can set some numbers, and you can check your documents. Maybe sometimes you may not be able to create process a transaction without customers. I'll just quickly show how to create a customer, and you can create a customer. Go to customers, add the customer. You can enter customer name, and if you want these details, you can enter customer. When we are creating a customer, Actually there's a option, there's Sage Business Cloud Accounting has options to email your customer invoices, quotation or receipts. Therefore there's a field for email. If you can enter email, you can enter. If you are not entering email address, please select this statement distribution as print. Okay, I'll repeat it again. If you don't enter an email address, please change this statement distribution method as print. Otherwise you cannot save that customer. After enter customer details, you can save. Name is enough, and you can save. After that you can go to customer and transactions, go to customer codes, customer transactions, customer codes, add code. You can select the customer from here. And from here you can select accountant, select a GL accountant, process the transaction. Anusha, you lost the connection. You cannot hear the. Hello, Anusha.
Hello.
Hello, yeah.
Yeah, now it's okay,
Yep.
but last 10 minutes I didn't have the connection. I don't know any reason.
Others, how about others? Yeah, I can see you are. Yeah, you left the conversation and again joining.
Yeah.
Others are okay.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, okay. Shahir, you also cannot connect. You are okay now. Okay, Supun, good. That's okay. Okay, fine. Okay, now you are in the document numbers. You might use the system for new company or old company. If you are using for new company, you can use document numbers as it is, or you can set any format. It's like 001, or for invoice INV 001. Likewise, you can change. You can set the new document number. And if you are old company and you are newly implement the system, if you want to continue the same serial numbers, same invoice numbers, same quotation number formats, you can use the next document number for new document number, and you can continue the same serial order. Okay, for following documents, you can set document numbers. And when you are, if you are a new company, when you are deciding before set a date, before set a number, please consider now how is your volume, that how many invoices you are doing per year, how many transactions you are doing per year. Because now if you are enter 001, only 3 digits, you can enter up to 999 invoices. If you increase that digits to 4, you can enter 9999. After that, you need to again set from the 0. Therefore, according to your number of transactions, you can set, you can decide your document number. If you are using all companies, this no need to consider that one. If you are a new company, if you are implementing to a new company, please consider your numbers before set the numbers. Okay, next we will move to document descriptions. From here, you can now, after you print, when you are printing a document in second time, it will show it is a copy or not. Okay, now original name, there are 3 columns. This is document type, second one is the original name, and copy name. Now customer invoices, original name is tax invoices, copy name is copy tax invoice. This we will use for control purposes. Now for an example, if your user print one time and again he can print the invoice and they can collect money from the customer. Because of that, when you are printing, if you are reprint, the system will show copy in the invoice. Now, if you are second time, when you are reprinting, system will show copy in this tax invoice. Likewise, other document also, supply invoices, credit note, it will display copy in the reprint document. Okay, next we will move to customer document messages. Now, when we are printing, entering a transaction, we can set a default message. For an example, if you are entering an invoice, you can set a default message as your bank account details, or please pay within 30 days. Likewise, you can set a message in your document. So it will display in that when you are printing the document, it will display. Now those message you can default, and when you are entering transaction, it will display in the transaction. Okay, these also For easiness of your data entry part, you can set default messages to your documents. Okay, for an example, quotations, you can enter quotation validity period only 30 days. Then it will display in the message box, and it will print in the quotation print also. If you want to change, you can change from the here, and you can edit the message. For easiness, you can set a default message to the documents. Then after that, supplier document messages. For purchase orders, or when you are purchasing goods from the suppliers, we can set a default message also. Please deliver to this address. Then it will show in the supplier document. It will show in the message box, please deliver to this address. These might currently you might not have an idea when to use or how to use, but when you are practicing the system, you maybe have a better idea what should we include in the as a document message. Okay. Next one, we will move to invoice and statement layouts. Now,
excuse me. Now
yes.
this default message for purchase order, it is clear.
Okay.
Now default message for supplier invoice, how we can do it? Because supplier invoice will be generated by supplier.
Yeah, actually,
how we can include?
No, supply invoice you can use as it GRN. Okay. Mr. Saman, you are okay. You can no, some participants message they cannot see screen. You are okay. You are okay with Mr. Saman?
We are okay. We are okay.
Okay. Miss Anusha, you are okay now. Mr. Shahir. Okay, Shahir okay now, right? Okay, thanks. And for Mr. Saman, supply invoices, we can use as a GRN, and it's actually this is for you can use as a internal communication.
Right.
Right. Okay. Next, we will move to invoice and statement layouts. From Sage Business Cloud Accounting, you can design these quotations, sales order, tax invoices, credit note, these documents you can design. Okay. Sometimes you might think you are in accounting field, because of that you don't want this IT technical part, but if you are practicing these ones, and you can run the system without any difficulties. Therefore, your final goal should be without others' support, run the system properly, and please get all technical knowledge also, and please do yourself, please practice, and try to run the system without others' help. And please, if you have any assistant, sometimes you have own business or you are working in that company, if you are using the system, if you after this course you should get a proper knowledge how to implement the system, how to do the company settings, how to do how to create master files, that is customer, supplier, inventory, projects, assets, GL accounts, those things, and how to do transaction, how to generate project reports. So you should have proper knowledge. Because of that, we will train now. If this is fast, please message. We will do slowly, and if you have any questions, please ask. Then you can get a better idea about the software. Okay. Now you can design your system layouts. Now, for an example, I will show you. This is a custom invoice. This is sample data, and you can enter your logo here, your company name, invoice. If you are entering, you are tax registered company, you can print tax invoice here, and document numbers. Those things you can design from yourself. Okay. And this system can maintain different layout also. For an example, for tax customers, you can issue tax invoices. Non-tax customers, you can just name as invoices. Okay. For designing part, end of last session we will do the designing part. I'll show you how to do the designing. From here, you can download the app, the designer app, and you can do the designing part. Okay. Next Tuesday we will do the in detail, because today time is not enough. So next session we will do the designing part. Okay. Now, after you designing different layouts, you can set default layouts. Now there are a few layouts. System also has some default layouts. You can set a default layout for here. And after that, when you are creating a customer, for customers also, you can set a invoice layout. I'll show you. Now your system also, you can see there are few design documents, and you can set the document. And from here, when you are creating a customer, there's a tab, report layouts. You can set a default layout to the customer. For an example, if you are a tax registered company and you are issuing tax invoices and non-tax invoices, for tax registered customers, you can give tax invoice, and non-tax registered customers, you can, without displaying tax part, you can print a document only that inclusive amount. Okay. For tax customers, you can mention the invoice as tax invoice, and you can display VAT amount separately. And for non-tax customers, you can issue non-tax invoice. Okay. Like we did that price list, here also we can set a default document layout to the customers. Then the relevant document will print as a invoice or quotation. Miss Anusha, again you disconnect your line. Okay, after that we will move to branding. In branding, you can attach your company logo to the system. When you are printing documents, quotations, invoices, sales orders, that logo will display in the invoice, or purchase orders. You can display that logo in the documents. Okay, to attach the document, you can go to branding and browse for logo. You can practice this one. Choose the file button, click on the file, choose file button, and select a file. Okay, you can add your logo, company logo, then it will print in the your documents. You can set the position from here, selecting the option top right or top left. If you don't want to print your logo, select none. And you can preview how your logo will print. By clicking preview button, you can check how your company logo will print in the invoices. And there are two options: logo on invoice and statement emails, and logo on customer zone. If you tick on this, when you are emailing your invoices, it will display your company logo, and in your customer zone also your company logo will display. Okay, are you okay with attaching your company logo? Go to branding.
Yes, it is okay.
Okay, fine, thanks. Then we will move to user defined fields. Now, when we are creating customers, there are several fields, data we can enter to the customer. Okay, customer name, their category, then opening balances, those things we can enter. Yeah, Mr. Shahir, you need to say there's a question: do we need to click save button after each changes we made? Actually, you can save. It's better after entering changing details, or else at once. For an example, if your company details enter, then general setting changes, and after multi-currency entered, then after that also you can save, or else it's better if you can save each section. Okay, right. Okay, now we discuss about this user defined fields. Now customer has, we can enter different datas for that customer, such as their customer name, category, their addresses, contact name, those things. In addition to that, if you want to add more details, you can use this user defined fields. For an example, now customer NIC number, customer birthday, or customer country, such as those things, you can add as user defined fields. In your system, there may be text value 1, text field 1, text field 2. Likewise, there may be named. Those fields you can rename from here. Go to user defined field, customer, and text user field. You can change that. You can rename that text field values. If you have if you have any agreement with customers, you can set that text value as agreement number. Likewise, you can rename these fields. You can add 3 text values, 3 numeric values, 3 yes no values, and 3 date values. If you have any agreement with customers, you can set this agreement end date. Likewise, if you want, you can change that data fields. Same as for supplier also, we have that user defined field. For supply also, we can add several transaction data, and if these fields not enough, we can use this user defined fields. They also has 3 text fields and 3 numeric values, 3 yes no values, and 3 date values. Same as item also has. Go to items, add an item, user defined fields. Asset also has this user defined. You can create an asset from company, assets, add an asset, and you can use these user defined fields. Assets you can use for maintain your fixed asset, and after you create an asset, if this detail not enough, you can use this user defined field, such as that asset color. Likewise, you can use these user defined fields.
Excuse me, when we maintain
Yeah.
this asset item wise, can we use it as a fixed asset register?
Yeah, you can maintain as a fixed asset register. The depreciation will not calculate from the system, but as a fixed asset register, you can use these assets. Okay, right. Next, we will move to document and transactions. From document also, you can use this additional user-defined fields. For an example, for quotations, customer transaction, customer codes. Add code. Go to options, show user-defined fields, and from here you can use that user-defined fields. User-defined fields used for if you are not enough these data fields. If you want to add more data fields, you can use this user-defined fields. Following transactions, that customer code, supplier purchase order, customer sales order, invoices, these documents you can use that user-defined fields. Now you can rename or you can add that user field in your system. Okay, I think you all practice that one. Are we clear up to now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Not clear.
Sorry?
Yes, it is clear now.
Clear. Okay, thank you.
Up to now, it is clear. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Man. Okay, we will quickly recap our today lesson. Today we start from time tracking. From here, we can set a lockdown date for time sheets and time tracking settings and outstanding balances. There are two options, monthly and actual date. If we tick on monthly, outstanding will calculate after completing that month, and if you untick that one, aging will work actual number of days. And there are aging also there are two options, due date and invoice date. If you select due date, outstanding will calculate after considering the customer's credit period. If you select invoice date, it will show the actual number of days. And personal information, it's a legal requirement. How many years do we need to save transaction? There's no effect. It will not delete your transaction, but it's asking how many years retention period. Okay. Then we created tax rate. If you are VAT tax registered company, please select invoice-based tax, invoice-based GST. After that, you can enter your company tax number, last tax period. Next session we will discuss this one, and last tax submission date and tax period frequency. And you can create tax rate. You can rename the tax rate name and enter the tax percentage, tax rate. Okay. You can set a default tax rate. Then when you are creating customer, supplier, or inventory items, it will display the default tax rate. When you are doing the transactions also, you can change the tax rates. Then document and statements. Here we can give statement messages. You can set document numbers from this new document number. For each transaction, you can set a number. Then new document number will display in the your next transaction. Document description. When you are reprint a document, this copy name will display in the document. And customer document messages. When you are doing a transaction, this default message will display in the transaction. You can change when you are entering the transaction also this default message. Then supplier document messages. You can set default message to supplier document also. And invoice and statement layouts. Next session we will discuss how to design a layout. And branding, we can set a company logo to the system and it will print on our document and statements. From here you can preview your document. You can set your logo side position, top left or top right. And user defined fields, we can use this user defined field for enter additional information. Okay, are we clear up to now? Okay, if you have any questions, you can send email. I think some of users frequently disconnected. They can, we can, Mr. Asanka will send you that video to you, and please practice these settings, and your goal should be you from yourself need to you can implement the system yourself, and all the transactions, reports, master file you can create yourself. Okay.
Actually, last week video also was very helpful to us.
Okay.
If you can send this
Thank
one
you.
also, if you don't have any issue,
okay,
you can share that also.
Yeah, we will share, Mr. Saman. Thank you very much for your feedback. Okay. Okay then, thank you very much all.
Thank you. Good night.
Okay, good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Okay. If you have any question, please ask in next session.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.